Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are back. Another day in the market. Crazy day, to say the least. We're going to cover everything. We got new stock swings. We got new crypto swings. Bitcoin went higher. Ethereum, the overall market went higher. Just a nice green day pretty much across the board for a lot of different assets. So we're going to get to everything. How you doing, Maxime? Only one in the chat right now. You should Everybody there? What's up? I don't know what's happening. Am I live? But nonetheless, futures are green. Good day across the board. Bitcoin. We're going to get started with Bitcoin, talk about some other cryptos, and we're going to talk about the overall market. Then we're going to talk about Fisker, CLOV, ongoing swings. Probably have time for tick requests. Let's get to it. Getting started with Bitcoin. Very, very interesting. I mean, if you look at December of 2020, that was pretty much the biggest month of the run last year. What was that? So you can see December of 2020, Bitcoin was up 47%. Month before that, 42. Month before that, 28. The month after that, 14, 36, 30. So December of last year was Bitcoin's biggest month. I think, yeah, it's been the biggest month in a long time for Bitcoin. I'm sure it's not the biggest month ever. Yeah, you could see May of 2019 was a huge month, but you could see December was just an amazing month for Bitcoin. So we'll see if that happens again. But if we're looking at this daily time frame, it's breaking out of this wedge right now. We go over to the 4-hour time frame. I already talked about how I charted the supply line. It broke under it, but then it back tested it, reclaimed it, had a nice push off the level. So Bitcoin's looking good right now. Still is under the 59.5K resistance, so you have to keep that in mind. Ethereum looks very similar. I kind of charted this wedge today. And you have nearly confirmed hidden bullish divergence I've been talking about for a while. And it's back above this little green zone of resistance. So it's testing a supply line of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches. You have a wedge right there. Looks like it's very small, but you really do have 5 touches here. So it's testing a breakout of this falling wedge. So good stuff there. OMI, nice little bounce after a hammer candle yesterday. We did talk about it last time on the stream. There was still like 20 hours left in the day. But last time stream I said, hey, maybe you never know, a hammer could be printed. It pretty much printed a hammer or a bullish pin bar. And right now, I mean, in the last 2 hours, I think it's up 10%. So really nice follow through after that hammer candle. So those are a few different cryptos I just want to talk about like we do every night. Also speaking about OMI, the reason I've been talking about it all night, every night on stream for like the whole entire month is, if you remember, I made that video about Logan Paul and Vivi and OMI and Pokemon and just a bunch of speculation in the beginning of the month. And we're actually, this is pretty much the week that they were talking about. If you ever watched the video, they were saying the 29th to the 30th of November. So I guess we're going to find out what's up with whatever it is, whether it's Crypto Zoo or OMI or Pokemon or not, whatever it is. We might be able to find out this week. So I might be able to I don't know if I'll make an update video on it, but I'm sure, all of what I've said is not going to be right, but if just one little part of it could be right, that would be cool. But I'm keeping a very close eye out on that. Apart from those cryptos, we have 4 new crypto swings. I shared 4 new ones today. I'm just going to run through them, give you my thought process behind them all and how they've done so far in the last few hours. So starting off at Litecoin, still right around the entry. Remember, none of these are financial advice. Litecoin just chilling right at the entry. What was kind of my reasoning behind this? Well, you have a bullish bat, hit the PCZ, printed a hammer candle off of that pattern completion zone with hidden bullish divergence on the daily. So pretty simple. And then also on the 4-hour, it's testing a breakout of this wedge, just like Ethereum and Bitcoin. Bitcoin actually already broke out. Ethereum's testing it right now, and Litecoin is testing its wedge right now as well. So very similar. A lot of these altcoins are showing falling wedges and harmonics around their 200-day moving average. You're going to see pretty much all of these crypto ideas I have are their prices pretty much bounced around the 200-day moving average. Some of them weren't perfect, but that's Litecoin, the first one. Hasn't really moved much since this afternoon when I alerted. OMG, however, has been on a run. It's up 5% in the last 2 hours, and already this trade is up 13% since the entry. This was alerted today, so really good start to this. Thought process behind this. You don't have divergence, but the MACD is getting closer to green. RSI is bouncing off 32. And again, you went down towards the 200-day moving average. You printed a hammer candle at the PCZ, but harmonic. This one is a shark. So pretty much very similar to Litecoin, except you have a shark instead of a bat, I believe it was. And then Litecoin does have that 4-hour wedge. But yeah, on top of just the harmonic and the MACD cross and the hammer and the 200-day moving average, also have this big level, which is bouncing off of. You can see it from this low, from this high, from this high, from this high, from this high. So very historical level. It makes a lot of sense why it's bouncing here. Hopefully you can continue doing well, but 13% is already a really good start for something that was alerted today. So nice move right there. Tezos also made a nice move. At one point it was up 15%. Okay, I don't know. I think Steven M messaged me about it, but nobody else, I don't know. I don't really see anybody talking about it, but I mean, the timing there, even if you want to take a 15% profit, you know, it's a very nice day trade. So yeah, Tezos was another one. You have classic bullish divergence. I think it was, yeah, it didn't even break out when I shared this alert. It was still under supply. Now you can see it's broken out with confirmation on the daily. You have divergence, hammer candle around the 200-day moving average wedge. All of these charts are very similar for a reason. And then also bounced out historically area. You can see from these lows over here, from these highs over here. Like, are we looking at the same charts? Am I the only one going crazy about this? These are like class A setups on these charts right now. You have pretty much all the variables I would look for, and you're getting in a lot of these different cryptos. And we're going into December, which historically last year was an amazing month, over 40% for Bitcoin alone. So when I saw all this today, I was just like, wow, what is going on? Because I'm sure you all saw crypto's been selling off for the past couple of weeks. Now you're just getting this very quick shift going into December. So at one point, the Tezos alert today was up 15%. Right now, it's still up 8%. That's what's going on with Tezos. And then the final one, this one's the only one that's actually down a little bit since the entry. This one's currently down 2 or 3%. And this one's a lot simpler than Litecoin, OMG, and XTZ. This one is just straight up potential 3 rising valleys. All you need to do to confirm it is break above 1.32. And then also you've confirmed classic bullish divergence on the daily. And it got towards that 200-day moving average, and it spent like 2 weeks just bouncing off of this support before finally holding above it. You could see how many days it was testing that support in a row, and now you have the confirmed hidden bullish divergence. So those are the new crypto ideas, not financial advice. 2 of them are already up over 8%. One of them, Litecoin, still at the entry, and then this one's down a little bit, but that's what's going on there. That's your crypto. Let me see what's up in the chat for a second. The guy says Cyber Monday viewers at 60% off. Yeah, I guess maybe everybody's online shopping right now. I don't know, but it is what it is. What's up, Zeke? What's up, Josh? What's up, Chetta? Yeah, make sure to join the Discord. Chad just dropped the link. Super frustrating, but I'm sure you all know I raised the premium prices like an hour ago. I didn't do it like all day because I was just so busy. But an hour ago I did raise the premium prices, and when I did that, every single time I do that, which this is only the second time I've done it, I think, but it happened the first time, it happened again. I have to reset the Memberful bot. Memberful is the service I use, which, you know, does the payment processing, makes everything private and secure, and it also handles like all the Discord roles for premium members, and it just automates everything for me. When I created the new plan, the plan that's at a higher price, I had to reset the Discord bot to include new members in the Discord, and every time I do that, it pretty much kicks out like 20 to 30 premium members, many of which are just like still in premium, but they canceled however long ago, and the bot just wasn't able to find it originally. It's usually pretty good, but there's some of them that just kind of slip away, I guess. But I'm just kind of going on a rant here. I had to like message like every single person one by one. I had to send out like an email to every single premium member. Like, that's just one of the things I was dealing with today, on top of like 2 other things which I'm not even going to talk about, just like completely unrelated from stocks that were just stressful. So I guess I'm just venting right now to all of you. Just pretty stressful start to the week. That's why I wasn't really active in the Discord today. I mean, I actually did share a bunch of new swings, but apart from that, I just didn't have time to chat or anything. I was just dealing with a lot of just different random things today that just popped up out of nowhere, and I'm not going to get too much into it. But yeah. So those are the crypto swings. What's up, Zeke? Yeah, facts. I'm not going to talk about that right now. And I see this message that's being repeated in the chat. I'm not going to bring it up for right now. I'm going to bring it up in a few minutes though. So yeah, those are the crypto trades. Futures, they're up. Russell futures are up over 0.5%. Nasdaq and S&P futures are up like 1/5 or 1/4%. So good moves there overnight currently. And today we got a nice bounce back for the overall market, which was nice to see. Up 1% on the S&P today. The VIX was down almost pretty much 20%. Nasdaq was up 2%. But the ARK ETF and the Russell 2000 were flat. You know, they were a little bit red, but they're relatively just flat. So you had kind of large cap, maybe even tech stocks outperforming today, which was interesting to see. So what's going on over here on the daily? I'm looking at the S&P 500. Let me go over to the other chart. I don't know. There's not much you can do. You gapped down on Friday with all the different news that was coming out on Thursday night, Thanksgiving night. You gapped down. It looked like the world was ending. Everybody was freaking out. And then today you gap up, and you literally filled the gap from last Wednesday's low. So you gap. This was your low from last Wednesday. This was Friday's candle, and then you filled the gap from last Wednesday's low to even went higher. So, yeah, 1 point last Wednesday you were at the same price that you were at today, and it feels like that 3 hours of just horribleness on Friday just completely just went out the door for the SPY, but ended up closing with the doji candle pretty much. There's really not much I can do here. You know, it filled the gap kind of on the daily. On the 4 hour, didn't even fill the gap. I'm sure it didn't on the 1 hour either. On the 1 hour chart, I do have this little descending broadening wedge that I charted. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches. So you have 5 touches there. There's a potential for some hidden bearish divergence on the 1 hour though, if it fails to make a higher high. So just mixed variables across the board for the S&P 500. However, if we take a look at some other 1 hour charts, let's take a look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ has a kind of this wedge that it broke out of. Look, you had a 1 hour falling wedge with a classic bullish divergence on the NASDAQ. It broke that to the upside today. If you look at the daily for the NASDAQ, kind of the same thing. There's not much I can do on the daily time frames right now. If you look at the daily for the Russell 2000, pretty much a bearish engulfing candle. Yeah, it was a bearish engulfing candle today. Closed second day closing under the 200-day moving average. Unfortunately, there still is a chance for hidden bullish divergence if it makes a higher low than like 217. So hopefully you can do that, and it still kind of is above this little blue domain line I've charted from these lows back over here. But nonetheless, I was pretty bullish on it over here, and just a lot of technicals got overridden with the gap down on Friday. So hopefully you can just continue to hold this demand line on the daily closes, and we'll see. You are back down pretty much at your lowest RSI level since July of this year, and that July was the bottom. It's pretty much the lowest price you've been at since like March. So I don't know, we'll see. That's what's going on. There's not much I could see on the 1 hour chart for the Russell. This could kind of be considered a bear flag, to be fair. Still kind of within it. I'll leave it there. We'll see what it looks like tomorrow night if it bounces off that demand line. So pretty straightforward. I mean, the ARK ETF also, this one's looking interesting to me on the 1 hour. It's just still within this little inflection zone from this low and these highs over here. And it bounced off the PCZ of a shark, and now it's potentially trying to make a higher low inside of a descending broadening wedge while it's about to be testing the supply line with a partial decline. So there's a 70% chance of an upside breakout here for the ARK ETF, which is interesting on the 1 hour chart. Keep that in mind. But with the harmonic as well, that's just interesting to me. Hopefully you can just hold this like 103 to 106 area in general. That's the main thing I'd just be watching on the ARK ETF. But keeping a close eye on that. Even the RSI was oversold. It was at 19, which was like the lowest level. Yeah, it went to the lowest level. When's the last time it was at 19? Wow. So you had all-time lows. This is the 4 hour chart. It's not the daily, but 1881. You had 4 hour all-time lows on the ARK ETF. Recently, it just bounced. So that's really it for the market. I mean, the US 10-year pulling back, which I like to see. I'm sorry for the bond investors, but it rejected, ended up kind of at this point starting to look like a little bit of a potential double top. So it's kind of rejected this 170 area twice now, which is interesting to see. 164 is a low from 2015, and went a little bit above that to like 1.7, but that's where it's kind of finding resistance, and then it's kind of finding support on the 200 moving average. So you could also just look at this like a range. You can just chart right now. Alright, we'll just leave it like that. I'm gonna delete these. So maybe we could just call it a range for right now. We'll see which way it breaks. SR ET, it's the US 10-year. What else I want to look at? Gold. Let's see what that did today. Sideways. The dollar sideways. Nothing too crazy there. And then the Hang Seng Index is seeing its lowest level since September of last year right now. It broke under the lows from the end of September when all that Evergrande stuff was happening. So yeah, not good there. You are oversold again on the Hang Seng Index currently. So that's what's up with the overall market. Nice bounce back day. I shared, so we already talked about the 4 new crypto swings. I shared 3 new swings with premium members today, which I'm not going to go over on the stream, but I also did share 1 new swing for non-premium members, which is Palantir. Very, very straightforward. You have a little bit of descending broadening wedge. There's a lot of unfilled space over here, but you do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches, so it is a real pattern at this point. With some classic bullish divergence, RSI is around 30. You can see it's been bouncing off this level historically, and it's testing the support zone. It's pretty much held since November when it broke above it last year, apart from May when the Nasdaq corrected. So yeah, that's what's going on with Palantir. It's at historical support inside of the descending broadening wedge with classic bullish divergence. That's the new swing. It's up like a few cents since the entry. Hopefully this can do well. First target I put was a gap fill. Second target I put was just under a gap fill, and then third target I put was under this historical resistance over here. So that's the new swing. In terms of the other swings, just 3 others. VLO had a nice gap up today, but then sold off into the close. Did close above 67.84 for the second day in a row though, so hopefully you can continue to hold that level and eventually start developing hidden bullish divergence. SOFI sitting literally right at the entry goal. It's 2 cents under, but it is breaking out of the handle of this potential cup and handle with hidden bullish divergence developing, and it's still above 17.55. So technicals are still looking good on SOFI, just hasn't really moved much. Anything's possible. And then finally, Microvast literally didn't move today at all. I mean, it moved, but it closed flat. Also might be breaking a little bit of a supply line here, so maybe just very, very quiet breakouts for SOFI and Microvast currently. So hopefully they can keep going. Well, they're not really going right now, but hopefully they can start going. So those are your ongoing swings. Next up, we'll talk about CLOV, then I'll talk about Fisker. CLOV, unfortunately, bearish engulfing candle today. We were talking about last night. We were talking about the 4-hour, the 1-hour, and the daily bullish engulfing candle. Unfortunately, those just didn't play out at all. So that just did not work out. The market was green. Like honestly, variables were good for CLOV. And again, keep in mind when you have like these little amount of candles, like technicals in general, it's just less probability. But I mean, you did have bullish engulfing candles. The market was green. CLOV just, I don't know if there was news, but it was just down 6%. So I don't know what went on today, but didn't really, I'm not surprised. It's obviously still in the downtrend, but didn't see any technicals that indicated this. But again, there's not many technicals indicating anything right now after the gap downs after the offering. On the 1 hour, I think on the 5-minute I charted something earlier today. Let's see if it's still there. Yeah, so at the time, I was looking at this intraday. You had a little bit of a wedge. It broke out and did nothing. I mean, you had this shark, but it went 6% under the PCC. Didn't trade this at all. Didn't even share with premium members. I mean, I shared in the chat, but I didn't share like an options trade or anything. It just, I don't know, just weird. So I honestly, right now, in terms of CLOV, I think it's just patience, in my opinion, waiting until new variables arise. Until then, I just don't see much of a technical edge. And I've talked about CLOV fundamentally a few times on stream, but most of my coverage on CLOV is technical. I mean, there's not many technicals to be talking about. I mean, I don't want to just sit here and BS. So just waiting for more variables to appear. Whenever they do, we're sold on the daily, and that's CLOV. Tesla, does anybody remember when we were talking about the 30-minute cup and handle? Well, Tesla was up 5% today, which was nice to see. Pretty good day for some EVs. And it's trying to move towards the neckline of this handle. We'll see if it can eventually get there in the $1,200 range, but nice move off the handle breakout regardless. So wow, I just covered a lot. And how long have I been live? 22 minutes. Literally, it usually takes me like 45 minutes to cover crypto, the market, the swings, and the feature takers. So I don't know how I just did that in 20 minutes. But I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that. Let me read the chat for a second here. I don't have tea tonight, so I guess I'll just have to drink water. Sorry, I'm back. I was reading the chat. NVIDIA, oh, you were talking about those not flags, but channels on NVIDIA and AMD last night. I was looking at them a little bit differently, but we were talking about these little structures last night on stream. And for one, AMD looks like it broke out a little bit of an ascending triangle. Also, another way you could view it, it's just like an upsloping channel, which is still in, but I don't know. It's not like a clear resistance level you can draw, but you can see, you know, between 150, like, this is probably a better way to view it. Like, you could just see there was resistance between these levels until that broke today and it hit all-time highs. So nice move today on these chip stocks. But yeah, we were talking about those channels last night. Yo, champion, did you saw the latest Andre Jake video, YouTube video today? Watch the very last part. In the end, it shows a VV OMI teaser with the date December 3rd. You might have been right, maybe. They're going to announce something big on December 3rd. That's why OMI went up 10%. That's interesting because in the video I made, Logan Paul was talking about November 29th and November 30th as the days for his announcement or whatever it was, potentially. And that's only a few days away from December 3rd. So again, it could be a situation where they're just two unrelated things that just had weird coincidences, or maybe there's a 5% chance that somehow everything does connect. For me, it's like I was trying to make it very clear in the original video I made, where it's like it's just very speculative. I'm just making it because it's cool to see how coincidental all of that was. And I guess within maybe the next couple of weeks, we might see what all this kind of unfolds into, whether it's completely separated and just in different areas. Like VV does something different. Maybe Logan Paul and crypto do something different. I just said doo-doo, haha. But whatever it is, like, yeah, thank you for letting me know. I'm gonna watch that. Let me put it into my watch later. I didn't see that, but that's definitely something I do want to look into. There you go. All right. What's up, Michael? Joe says, you think AMC will pump? I did see the Spider-Man No Way Home NFT thing. I have no clue, honestly. I actually wonder how AMC... I haven't looked at AMC and GameStop in a while. Wonder how they're doing. This is a premium swing still, technically. It already hit the first target, though, but... looks like this triangle might be breaking to the downside, and then GameStop. Just don't really see much here either. This was a non-premium swing as well, which, again, already hit both targets. Should have had a third target, but I don't really see much of a technical edge on either of them right now. So yeah, we got 36 people in here. If you missed the beginning of the stream, I don't know, use the scroll bar and start watching the beginning. That's pretty... I covered like everything in like 20 minutes today, which was crazy. So I just was like nonstop talking. If you're watching the replay of the stream right now, hopefully you enjoyed that first 20 minutes. What's up, Skip T. Lou? So yeah, with all that being said, I'm retiring. It's pretty much the end of all of this. Stream's over. If you sign up for premium, I'm sorry. I'm probably gonna delete my Twitter. So yeah, I mean, it's nothing bad happened. It's just I had a life goal and I achieved that life goal today. So I don't think there's like, you know, really anything else for me to do. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna, I don't know, move to like Australia or something and just kind of chill out for the next however many years. So I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, retiring, last stream, I'm done. Appreciate all the support, but my life goal was achieved today. I mean, what else can I say? My life goal was achieved. I had a goal, it was achieved. What else do I do now? It's like I'm fulfilled, you know? It is what it is. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You know? What are you gonna do? This was crazy. Obviously, everything I just said, I was joking. Wow. Okay. Wow. Fisker, Instagram, I'm on it. That's crazy. That's just, I don't know. This was like such a cool, like today was so stressful, but like seeing this just like it made my day. So shout out to Fisker, seriously. A year ago, and I was streaming for like not a year ago, a year and 2 months ago, when I was streaming for like 5 people talking about this stock, sitting at $9 to $10, just, you know, SPAQ. I would have never imagined there'd be just another day a year later where I'm on their Instagram page wearing all of their merch. It's just crazy. So thank you for all the support. I did tweet this out when I saw a bunch of people in the Discord were pinging me about it and messaging me. So this was crazy to see that. I mean, shout out to Fisker, seriously. This was awesome. So I don't know, I might have to frame this or something, but speaking of Fisker, it was up 12% today. So what were we talking about on Fisker in the last few streams? This 1940 level, go back to last night's stream. We were talking about how it was holding this level as support. It used to be resistance over here, resistance over here, resistance over here, support over here, resistance over here. So yeah, well, it was once a resistance and a support before, is now support again. It spent 4 days bouncing off of it and had a nice move. It actually did close above 2158, which is nice to see. It's one of the first major all-time highs from July 2020. But on the 4 hour, it's still just kind of in this channel. I'd say it's just testing the resistance right now. We'll see if it can break it tomorrow or reject it or just consolidate there. You do, however, have 4 hour hidden bullish divergence developing on the daily and the 4 hours. So I'll try it on the daily really quickly. So that implies continuation to the upside. We'll see if it confirms and plays out or not. Again, it's only a probability. But very nice move today on Fisker, up 12%, and they're throwing me onto their Instagram. I mean, what could be better? Okay, what could be better? I mean, they've got the butterfly. I don't even know what to call myself. The butterfly SPAQ day one on their Instagram, and they're up 12% on the day. I mean, that's just a win-win. So yeah. KTF says that 20K profit in Fisker earnings was thanks to CV merge spending. But yeah, I mean, for those of you who are not back, those of you who were here back then, you remember what these days felt like. You know, crazy times. And hopefully we'll see these days, whenever it is. You know, I don't need things to be this year, next year. I'm in for the long run on Fisker. You all know how I feel about this company. Not financial advice, but yeah, that was crazy. Alan, no, I'm joking about retiring. I was just trying to have like I was just trying to create some suspense until I talked about Fisker sharing me on their Instagram. I'm not retiring anytime soon. We're gonna keep this thing rolling. The show goes on, as Jordan Belfort would say, and I'm not trying to act like Jordan Belfort. I'm just quoting a movie, Wolf of Wall Street. So yeah, that's what's going on with everything. We could do take a request for the rest of the stream. But in all honesty, I mean, we only have 22 likes. We're gonna have to get to 30 likes. There's definitely 8 people here that haven't hit the like button. So please hit the like button. Okay. But yeah, you just joined. Yeah, if anybody just joined and heard me talking about retiring, I was joking. I was trying to build up suspense before I talked about Fisker. Not retiring. So yeah, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications, join the Discord, links in the description. Watch the course on my channel. It's 6 hours long. It's completely free. And yeah. So take requests. Do not request anything up over 30% today. Do not request any OTCs. And don't request anything that IPO within the last month. And remember, nothing I say is financial advice. Let's get into it. Max says CV got a nail on levels for Fisker. Just got to spend time looking at charts, and these levels will just start coming to you naturally. One like away from 30. So first up, Wish. Not much I can do here on the daily. Put on a lower time frames, 1 hour. I mean, even here, there's not much to be done. He did break a supply line. Hasn't done much since it broke it. Just been kind of going sideways. I don't know, maybe even call that a wedge. Whatever you want to call it. It broke out, it's just going sideways. I'd say very, very short term. Like very short term. It's just in a range between like 380 and like $4, 410. That's really all I got on Wish. There's just not a lot of data right now for me to work with. Hive. Those are your levels on the chart. Maybe a little bit of a wedge on the 4 hour. A little bit of a falling wedge there with some hidden bullish divergence. So 4 hour chart looks interesting. Not too much technicals to really talk about on the daily, but this is your 4 hour chart. Wedge divergence. SWAV. This could turn into a shark pretty much. It's not deep enough yet. I don't know, maybe even if you like, you could maybe call it a cipher here. The B point's a bit deep. I mean, I think 618 is the max B point on a cipher, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so it's pretty close to a cipher right now. If it doesn't reverse like right off this area, then your 886 for the shark would be around 169.4, which also kind of line up around this little previous resistance and support, roughly. Apps, let me delete my data from before. You got some hidden bullish divergence developing on the daily. You got a gap fill at $53 pretty much. Went down to 53.13 today. I don't know if I'd call this a harmonic. I don't even know if I can yet, but it's I guess you could pretty much call this a shark. The points look good to me. Somebody let me know if I'm wrong. I think the B to D might want to have like a little bit 10% deeper, but I don't really. The 886 is there. I don't focus too much on the B to D retrace, but that's just me. I'm not telling you to follow that. I just work with harmonics a little bit differently than others. So I'm looking for multiple variables. But those are my levels. Just one more right there. So those are all the levels I have on the chart. And you are oversold right now on the daily. Lucid. Oh my gosh, it's still going. It's just in this. Make sure this is on the 4 hour. Remember that time where that green arrow is when we were talking about Lucid? Right now you're just going higher and higher. I'm gonna fix this a little bit. Called a upsloping channel, ascending broadening wedge. It's working. It bounced off the demand line. It's going a little bit higher. It is pretty much testing its resistance zone right now. If it breaks above it, I think $60 would be that next just psychological resistance. Actually, it's a little bit of a horizontal resistance. You really zoom in from this candle and this candle, but it's nothing major. But that all depends on whether or not I could break above this little yellow box. There we go. Thank you for the 30 likes. What's the name of his track? This one's called Oranges in Winter by Basti. I don't know if you're talking about the previous one. The previous one was called, talking about this one. I think you're talking about this one. This is called Debon Air. Debonair. I don't know if, I'm sorry for mispronouncing that. It's called Debonair by Limes and Aimless. CEV. Happened. Alright, MQ will probably be the final one for the night. BBIG will load. Looks like it was in a wedge. It broke the demand line, unfortunately. You still have a chance of classic bullish divergence when this MACD crosses over to green. As long as the MACD island doesn't literally do this first. As long as it, you know, does something like that, there's still a chance of classic bullish divergence. Did fill a gap from like the end of August. And I'd say 276 is like the next support if it keeps dropping. You can see 276 was your low over here, your low over here, your resistance over here, and your highs over here. So that's the next support level I see. That's what I got on BBIG. LI up 6%. It's kind of like an inverse head and shoulders. And it's testing a breakout right now. Come on. I don't know. That right shoulder is a little bit unparalleled, but I do prefer personally high right shoulder. Is just, you know, from here to here is a little bit of a large difference, to be fair. But even if you don't look at it like an inverse head and shoulders, it's just in a range, and you have a partial decline of the range, which means you went from the top to the bottom, back to the top, but then you didn't come back to the bottom. So you only partially declined. You did not go the next level in your range. And then it ran back up to the breakout point. So a little bit of a partial decline, which gives it a 70% chance of an upside breakout here. However, if it does break out, you still have 37 resistance looking left from January. If it breaks that, that's when you're pretty much above the major resistance, and that's when you don't have much resistance after. So this little zone right here is kind of your resistance, 35 to 37 bucks. CEV supports around 7 bucks. Resistance at 855. I don't really see much else to talk about apart from that. MMAT. Call it a wedge. Bit of a falling wedge here. Just testing like a mini level. It's like 360, 370 area from like this high. Consolidation over here, some lows over here, some highs over here. It's a rough level, but it's testing it. Not much else I see apart from that. Yeah. MARA. There's a chance of getting triple hidden bullish divergence on the daily. I haven't seen that in a while. We used to talk about that all the time. I haven't said triple hidden bullish divergence in forever. I'm gonna cry. Also on the 4 hour, you're close to confirming hidden bullish divergence. Let me verify that. Yeah, on both oscillators. You have that. If you ever get confused by the terms I bring up, watch the free course in the description. It's got some resistance at 54. If it can clear that, I'd say honestly there's not much on the daily again. It breaks 54. I mean, there's not much between like 54 and like 80. It's just kind of, that's crazy. Let me go on like, I don't know, higher time frames. Yeah, you could see it's like, this is like, this whole entire zone is kind of resistance, but above that there's just not much until like over here, and I guess this little high over here as well. And then short-term support, it's finding support around like 47.60 on the daily. We already looked at NVIDIA earlier. I just see it like an upsloping channel for right now. Those are your lines. ME, not a lot of data to work with. You got a gap fill around to 8 bucks, resistance at 925. It broke under it and flipped it back into resistance. It was once resistance over here, broke under it, and now for the last 4 days it's been resistance again. Maybe it could be a bat, and at that gap fill, you'd be hitting your PCZ. C point's a little bit high, but yeah, if it does fill the gap, you have a bullish bat pretty much, apart from the C point being like 5% higher than you would want it. So I think like 1350 is the largest resistance on the chart that I see, but that's what I got there. And then MQ supports 20 bucks, resistance is 30. just in a range kind of apart from this little high over here. You know? Alright, so I think that's going to be it for the night. Appreciate all the support. Hit the like button if you don't already. Hit the subscribe button. I'll be live again tomorrow night unless I get home too late. But yeah, thank you for all the support, everybody. Join the Discord, links in the description. Follow me on Twitter at ChampionVibe. And good luck trading tomorrow. Peace out.